So I did look up what they had tonight, and actually it's all bluegrass. I missed the segment when the lady was talking about it. You know, the I'll just call it at the thing. I missed the segment she was talking about it, but it was all bluegrass. So I don't know what next week is going to be. The last little set was okay, but like I said, I came in after it was technically closed, and I'm glad I didn't rush to try to make it earlier because, like I said, that's not my mainstream typical type of music, right? So, and the other task that I had to complete today, that's actually was closed at 9 too. But it's okay. I'll see if I can follow up on that tomorrow. But I wanted to talk again about the sexuality. So the reason, and I'm glad that I was late because um, I really didn't miss out on anything. Okay, I'm really glad that I was late. If I came earlier and it was hot outside and I rushed down here to see that, I wouldn't have been so happy. Now, I could have left immediately and went and took care of my other business, so that would have been the plus. But now I have to hold off on that till tomorrow, and it may not happen tomorrow. So, um, and let's talk about my sweat. So it's not as bad as it was a second ago, but the way that I sweat, it's like it's weird. It's almost like if you ever had bacon in a bag and the bag is filled and you just have it sitting on the counter and the bag and it kind of sweats on the inside. That's how I feel. It's wet. It's really, really wet, but it's like a slow wet. I don't know how to describe it. It's you know. But anyhow, let's talk about why it took me so long. And again, the reason why it took me so long, I'm happy about, but I'm happy. Well, I'm not happy about the reason, but I'm happy that it did because, like I said, if I came out here in the heat and that's what I came across, Hmm, not so much. So even though I would have had a chance to take care of my other thing, if I came out a little bit earlier, that would have been good because I would have been able to take care of the other thing, get that out the way, and hopefully I don't have to BS about it. But I'm just happy for anything. But anyhow, so let's talk about it. So the reason why was because, as y'all know, I'm having issues with hormones. Like when I say hormones, I don't mean I mean hormones that I don't even because I think of hormones and I just say it like that. I think about the women that talk about thyroids and all this stuff. Nah, it's not even that technical. It's just my hormones, I can't even call it libido because when I think of libido, I think about there has to be interaction with other people or a need for other people in the libido thing. There has to be some type of attraction and something like that. It's none of that's going on. What's going on with me is I don't know. I think it's part of aging. I really do. Like I said, sexuality, truth, aging, responsibility, reality, and let's go to righteousness. Let's throw righteousness in there, right? So I'm I'm having issues. So I don't know how to put this. So like I have to be careful, one, and probably other people know this, and I don't know it because it's just me. Where other people are around other people all the time, so they know, or they have an idea, or they've experienced people, that have whatever. So and it's not a bad thing, not hurting anyone, not hurting me. It's just uncomfortable when when that experience hits because it's almost like, what you gonna do about it? Ain't really too much you can do about it, right? So, I have a funny feeling I shouldn't go this way. I'll go the other way. I'm so thirsty. And I didn't bring the water with me. And the reason I have this shawl on is because the bra that I have on, the bra that I have on, um, like the snaps unsnapped in the back or something, and so it's it's just weird, but it's to cover up my bobbles. But anyhow, they are covered up, but it's just it doesn't feel the way it should feel. But anyhow, so it's okay. Y'all know I'm a loner to myself. I'm a extroverted introvert, which means that I really don't have much to say unless it's something I'm passionate about, right? And then also, and I gotta address it. Still gotta address the thing about Wednesday. I didn't. and I still don't think, I thought this person was my savior, but I don't think so now because, again, I'm learning to pick up on cues. Like I said, if they're saying, oh, they're going to get me the resources I need, but I don't have your information, so how do we talk about the resource? You don't know what resources I need until we talk about it, and then they're going to take away from my time that I use for my Bible study on Wednesday. That's not going to work. So, but it's whatever it is. So, um, yeah. Um, so yeah. So I think what I'll do on Wednesday, because I may not have an opportunity to speak, is like I'll come early, I'll talk to everybody, and bring my little roster sheet like usual, and see if I can talk to people that way. If he allows me to talk openly, I will, ask him if I can do a reintroduction um, of sorts. But so here's the situation. So let's say about 3 o'clock. Okay, I had a hard time sleeping last night, but I had a hard time sleeping last night because, and I'm going to say what I think it is just as much as I can. It may, I don't know, because even like last Wednesday was a real hitter shocker for me, and I wrote it down, and I need to write down the rest and find all the paperwork that goes with it because, I don't need no craziness. But I think, the reason I couldn't sleep yesterday because I was so scared. I felt like, and I mean, like I said, I'm a loner, but I found a mentor that was helpful in giving me, and sometimes it's not even information, it's just presence. You know what I'm saying? It's presence. But then I was scared that I lost that, and then I really wanted feedback. And I was like, if I'm not getting feedback, because there's all these other little pieces that could be in it, then that means it's something really, really bad. But it may not be something really, really bad. It's just the person's not interested. So that's, and not to say not interested in my goals or what I'm doing, but, people are people. They have to be interested in people personally, to really, connect and all that. So, initially maybe just because of curiosity, but that's it. So, and that's what it is, regardless of what the person says, that's really what's happening. So, I'm going to leave that alone. And I'm going to leave that alone because I learned a lesson when I was in Fort Lauderdale. There was this guy, um, and I think he told me, and I want to tell like all the secrets, but it's not even a secret. But it's like as I remember, as open as I am, as I remember, I'm remembering details that perhaps are a little, are a little fun. So this I forgot how I met this guy. I don't know if I met him at work. I don't know where I met him at. I met him somewhere. I don't know where I met him at, but yeah, I appreciated some things that he had to offer. So and as we were talking, and I'm gonna tell you, you know, sexuality is, even if it's just mind sex, it can be addictive. And the guy that was planted by the FBI, and I'm jumping all over the place, the guy that was planted by the FBI actually mentioned that too, that it is addictive, just like with me, whatever. And he was doing, just you throwing just little things. I'm not going to get into detail, but little things can be addictive, you know, when you know that it's going to lead to things that, make you happy. So, um, and fast forwarding back or rewinding, I don't know which direction we're going in here because all these stories come together. But the guy that offered me something that I appreciated, you know, like the full gamut of it. Um, oh, the dog is going to come and attack me. So, with that offer, when it came to a point where I was like, when it came to a point when I was like, well, because I was enjoying it, and for me, like it doesn't take that dog was a chained up. He would be after me. The thing is little too, but the thing about it is that it, like I said, it doesn't take a lot, for me to get excited, in any way. It doesn't take a lot at all, very little. And I think that's the thing about being alone. It takes very little to get excited. Everything, you know, I'm not gonna say I have the eyes of a child anymore because I did. Like, you know how when a kid looks up and the sky is blue and you're like, ooh, you know, it's wondrous in that way, but it's not. It's you have a little peak to it, you know, and just um. So yeah, it doesn't take much to excite me. You know, somebody could say hello, and you feel a good spirit, or somebody allow you to do something good for them, and it's exciting to me. You know, I'm very happy and pleased by that because, you know, I like to please people. I like people to be happy, and also I like people to like me to be happy. So you know, that all comes together good. And things that make me happy is knowledge and information. Like I said, I find intelligence like super duper, uber, uber attractive. I think I shouldn't even waste my time going down here. I see cars and stuff, but I think it's like way too late. But so yeah, so it doesn't take much to excite me. Now, the guy that I was talking about that provided some things that I really enjoyed. um, with him, um, I remember how excited I was because I enjoyed everything. And there have been instances where somebody offered to provide something that, you know, that I needed and I enjoyed. However, hey, how y'all doing? They didn't pretty good. They they saw that I really enjoyed it and they didn't want me to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't want me to enjoy it. You know, I enjoyed it very, very much. And so they wanted to ensure that I didn't enjoy it because they said I was enjoying it too much. Right? So it always feels like a dead person when I walk past here, for real. Like for a whole year. It's not as strong as it used to be. So do they rotate dead people? Like what's going on? But yeah. Yeah, it's a waste of time for me to go up here. I need to do this tomorrow. We need to take a U-turn and go the other way. We're going the other way. And perhaps I shouldn't walk down this street. I don't know if I should or shouldn't, because this street has a lot going on. But on the same note, people see me on this street, so it should be a big deal. The other street doesn't have anything going on, but there could be people hiding that don't really know me or haven't seen me, you know. But I don't know. We'll make that choice when we get there. But so it really stinks like a dead person. It's an abandoned house, and I swear over the whole year it smells like a dead person. I don't even know how people live over here. But yeah. So what the guy told me, and when I think back about it, you know, it amazes me. I'm just an easily excitable person. I was really excited about. I enjoyed everything, and it was a good thing that this person had to go to work because if they didn't have to go to work, I would have been bouncing off the ceilings. You know, they were just like, stay here, blah, blah, blah. But I would have been bouncing off the ceilings. I don't think they would have been able to handle it, right? And the thing about it, you know, I think I was so excited about those things. And just for reference, because I'm getting people sending me crazy stuff, I'm not attracted to unmelanated people. I'm not attracted to unmelanated people. I just need to put that out there. I'm not. Please do not. But anyhow, so moving right along. I'm taking the quieter road because I'm not in a, you know, talking to mood tonight. So we're going down the quiet road. But anywho, so, you know, I was really excited. You know, they would just stay here and I was just bouncing off the walls because, you know, I enjoyed everything that was offered through the wee hours of the morning, through the wee hours of the night. You know, everything was absolutely enjoyed, you know. Um, and I was ready to enjoy more continuously all day, all night, and all day, and all night, and all day, and all night. But that person had to go to work. So while that person was at work, I was bouncing off I was bouncing off of everything, right? And I was bouncing off of everything, and I actually, I was, it was crazy. I was bouncing off of everything. I was making up like songs, remixes, sending them, And it was so funny because through text messages, and I didn't know that they were actually getting them because they're not supposed to be able to get them at work. But and this is the thing too about me, and that is that um, when I'm in that happy space of gratification, it's like all of a sudden I get real creative. I start writing songs. I haven't written songs or poetry in a long time, and I was moved to do so today because I needed to get it out of my system. It's almost akin to that flow, that creative flow about that. It's almost akin to having that. It's euphoric. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, I don't want to, sin. So I don't want to, because if you think it, you did it. And that's why, but there's no real people in the church that I can really talk to, that really care about stuff like that, because they're probably doing it all the time with other people in the church. But and unapologetically. So, um, but yeah, so I guess I have to counsel myself on that. But I mean, I just had such a strong need. But going back to that guy. So yeah, I was bouncing off the walls and whatever. And I guess what happens is like he got a text from me and he opened it and it automatically played the audio. It automatically played the audio. And he was at work and anyways, but it was funny. But anyhow, it was funny to me. It was funny to him, but it was funny and horrifying at the same time. Because he was like, oh my God. But that was a lot of fun, by the way. But um that activity is pretty addictive, right? And this is the moment that I'm coming to the realization that it is addictive because, you know, me, I've been celibate since since and probably and that don't even really count because that was one time and then I had some financial struggles. So of course I'm not participating in anything since I had an excursion May 15th, 2015. That was the last time, and it was because I was tricked. And when I looked back on it, and even during the time I was, right after, I was like, I'm not upset at being tricked because it needed to happen. But and before that, it was the FBI guy, and like I said, he was paid by the FBI to do it. But it's okay. But so I just so what the guy was telling me, because I guess he was, and I didn't even know enough about him to know that he was all in these different programs and stuff. But he was in some, and like I said, I don't regret any of it. It was great. But he was in some type of rehab thing. And he was like, if it takes you more than 5 minutes to let go, it's not good for you, right? And like I said, y'all know I'm super celibate. Ain't nothing going on. Not even, I'm not going to talk about that because a certain person watches going to piss them off. But there's nothing going on, not even the whatever. And so, like, so thirsty. I wish I had a bottle of water with me. And my hair is so puffy. I didn't have any conditioner. But I do have conditioner, but I didn't put it in because I was rushing out because I was hoping to catch some good music. But it's all bluegrass. But which is okay. I enjoyed a little bit of the car. But yeah. So yeah. Um so with this, and I don't have no any regrets. I enjoyed that thoroughly. And if I could have that right here, right now, I would. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. But however, and now it makes me want to think, like, to calculate that and think about, okay, so I know what his stats are as far as, on the professional side, but on the just the I don't even know what I can say. This is just reality, you guys. Okay, I talk about it. This is real stuff that I think about that I'm going through, and I'm going through that. I think because I'm in middle age and my hormones are behaving, I guess, the way that a middle aged person would. I don't have anywhere to confide about, so we confide right here. We'll have church about it right here. But so on the professional stats, marginal, but my situation was marginal. You know what I'm saying? He had the type of job that people like me get, you know. He had the type of, experience as far as these different institutions like, that, I've had experiences with. And so, and I don't remember how we met. I think we just met out and about in passing, right? I have no idea how we met, but like, but I don't, I don't want to be vulgar. But then on the, like I said, on the professional stats, on the paperwork stats, marginal, not so much, right? But I didn't care about any of that because I wasn't there for the paperwork or the professional stats. But the physical stats and the hedonistic part of me wants to say, no, I'm not gonna say it, but the physical stats were on point. The muscles were there, the ripples were there, the abs was there, the meat was there, all of it. Oh, and then when I say that, the other part was there too. I'm not even gonna talk about that. That was there too, and he allowed me to record it. It was just, it was, it was, it was, it was memorable. It was definitely, and I miss that. I wasn't like a blazing, whatever, but once in a while, I'd have a nice little excursion that was much needed. And that was very much needed and appreciated. And for me, I think the limit for me is like 3 days. And it's not because of me, because I'm forever. But when I think back to my ex, right? When I think back to my ex, I remember that was the reason that I had got with him, was because I never wanted a boyfriend. I never wanted a husband. I never wanted none of that, you know? But everybody talked about sex so much. I was just like, well, what's the big deal? So I was like, well, I'll get a boyfriend, for two reasons. One, so I can explore all those things I want to explore and do whatever it is that I want to do, and it'll be under the awning of boyfriend, right? Then two, thinking about my mom and how we don't have any family, it would create a family, people for her to love. None of that worked out, by the way. The first part kind of worked out because I did get to explore some things, but it ended up making him think that I was a super whatever, which, it's a fire, but it's contained. You know what I'm saying? It's contained. It's not like, here we go, everybody. It's contained. It contains that person. And I was thinking about this yesterday too. Like, if it comes to the point where, there is a possibility now, I think that, it could happen where I could, like I said, I never thought that I'd really ever date again or anything like that. But I could end up having a mate, Um, and what's weird to me about that is if that happens, it's only two ways that it'll happen. One, it'll be through like church excursions. But if that's the truth, you know, whenever the hookup happens, it's not going to be anything holy. And then that person will immediately want to divorce me or get rid of me or whatever, because they'll be like, what? Or I'll find out that, that they're just a super, what, and they don't think nothing about God, and I actually love God, so you know that wouldn't work out, you know so yeah, so it wouldn't, I don't think that would be okay. And then if it's outside of the church, it would be, there's three different ways it could happen. One, it would be a church thing where they're talking about marriage and relationships and all this, and oh, I shouldn't be walking past here, it's so dark, and there's like woods where somebody can snatch me, I don't want to be snatched. Yeah, let's cross the street. Yeah, I shouldn't have walked down the street. And then there's no sidewalk over here, so that's just great too. But yeah, see, there's like, it's it's yeah, this is not safe. Um, Not safe at all. Not safe at all. And then there's traffic. But I guess I go back on the other side of the street once I pass this little patch here. I'm so hungry. Oh my God, I'm hungry. But yeah, so okay, so these are different ways that could potentially have that instance happen, right? One would be through church, and it would be through me, I'm always going to be a good person, but I don't think that it would be appropriate, because if, it would be like something where it's serious, boyfriend or husband thing, and I'm not, that's not really my thing. But you know. But if that happens, just for the experience, like the homeless experience, just for the experience, I don't know if my heart could take it because that stuff is brutal. But when it comes to the point where it's time for us to hook up, I think that that's going to cause us to have to split. I remember my ex was telling me, I can't even say it, or it's so funny. It's funny, but it's not. He was like, "You the one that want to MF and whatever all the time. I'm not no." But when I'm there, like when I have that, um, when I'm there and when I have the opportunity to do all the things I want to do when it comes to that, um, it is. Oh, there's people outside. It is like really. Uh, it's the vibe is real strong. You can feel it. You can sense it off of me. Like like me and a friend of mine, you could feel it. We would walk through a park, and I remember they was having a church picnic. I wasn't going to church at the time, and this was before homeless, right? There was a church picnic, and me and this guy that I was dating at the time. Oh, he was so high. He was like 6'5", 300 pounds, solid muscle, brick. Oh my God, chocolate, just. And we're not gonna talk about the phallus. I mean, it was just, it was great, and we had a lot of similarities, like yin and yang similarities, where his opposite matched the groove. Everything matched, and we didn't do anything. All we did was a big park, and there was a church picnic going on in the park. We didn't realize it. We decided we were gonna get out and take a walk in the park. And like I said, the energy is real strong. We walked past, we were both very attractive at the time. We walked past, the whole church picnic stopped, and the mouths dropped, and they were like, lust. But it wasn't, we weren't lusting, we were just walking in the park, you know what I'm saying? But, however, our private times were very private and very nice, I must say. So, but the energy is just strong. I remember, I remember being in a shelter, and there was this is during the legal situation, court ordered. There was this young man, and again, you know, I never said anything inappropriate to him. He never said anything inappropriate to me. I mean, we were cool. We were just keeping each other, just conversation, cool. When you're homeless and you live in shelters, it's almost like you're at work, like work buddy conversations. So, um, for whatever reason, I think we had breakfast. We decided to go hang out in the park. There's a park. This is in Homestead. There's a park right there, big, huge, humongous park. So we were in the park, and he was a little bit younger than me. I don't remember how old he was, but he's a little bit younger than me. We're in the park, and there was a tree, and we were just sitting under the tree talking. Nothing weird. I didn't sense any weird things or nothing like that. And then as we were talking, he just stopped and he says, and he's a good bugs. He's a good guy. He's not like a, how some guys you could tell that they're trying to whatever. That's not how he was at all. We just were having a conversation. He was giving me, just like I'm telling you this stuff, but there is not for any weird purpose. It's just because that's my experience and I'm sharing it, right? So he had an opinion or a vibe, and he was just sharing it with me. And what he said to me is that, you give off really, really, really freaky vibes. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And he was just like, real, real. I mean, real, real, real. And I was like, what? I'm not even, thinking nothing like that. But whatever the energy was, you know, but I've had that said. I don't know why, but that's what was said. And I don't think he's making it up, perhaps low key, but I hadn't said anything. I didn't say anything. And then I remember, but the energy says a lot more too. Like I remember just rewinding back before that, when I went to college and I came back and, I stayed in these little places, this little place, and they were just like, it was like Valentine's Day, and the guy was saying Happy Valentine's Day, all this other stuff. And I was like, I used to get offended, like if guys spoke to me that I didn't want. And so I didn't say anything. And then he got mad And he was like, such and such and such. And I was just like, well, I didn't say anything. He was like, you didn't have to say anything. Your silence said it all, you know? So, the energy, and that was nothing sexual. But I don't know. I kind of like Toni Braxton in her older years. She was, they asked her for these big mushrooms. I'm walking past the homeless shelter now and the probation office. So Toni Braxton in her older years, they asked her, what was one regret in life that she had? And she said her regret was that she didn't have and she wished she had more sex. Now, I'm going to say this. I don't know if that's true yet. I know my libido is kind of crazy at times. Ooh, felt some wet drop on my head. It's kind of crazy at times, but I think it's because when it's that time of the month, or if I'm uber stressed, or I remember we had sex ed class in high school. There's also like if Johnny sits beside you and you get a whatever, but or if I'm surrounded by intelligent and attractive men that actually interlocute with me, um, you know, I don't catch the vibe right then, but it's like afterwards I realize, oh my gosh, now I'm in heat, right? So, um, I'm so thirsty, like water thirsty. So yeah, um, I'm so thirsty. I can't wait to get back because I need water. I need to never, ever, never, never, ever leave the house without water or go anywhere without water if I can help it. But yeah, oh, it's about to start raining, and I don't have a fanny pack. I couldn't find it, so my phone may get wet unless I tuck it in a different place, if you know what I mean. But and then it'll be sweaty, so it'll still be wet. Yep, it's about to rain. Oh my god. Yeah, no matter where it is, it's gonna get wet. But I'm still gonna try to keep it covered. At least it'll just be sweat, wet versus pouring down rain, wet. And it's kind of wet where you feel like it's gonna pour down raining, like it's a big thick drop here, a big thick drop there. Right. So, um, and I used to love like these nighttime walks. I love this. I remember that big guy that I was telling you about, and I love big guys too. I like them big. I like them dark. I like them really dark, like dark, dark, as dark as you can get it. Pitch black dark. I like them muscled up, veined up. Ah, I like them tall. I like them 6'5". I like them at least 245. At least 245. 6'5", at least. Ooh, lightning. I'm about to get caught in this rain, but it's okay because I'm hot. Except my phone. That's the only thing I'm worried about. 6'5", 6'5", at least 245. I like them sweet. Like I like them, strong build. I like them real sweet. Even as the kind. Please don't let nobody stop. Even as the kind, like that guy, I liked him. He was the perfect thing, because like with me, I would have never thought that he had a hard side until one time. I think I had got tired because he like smothered me a whole lot. Go figure, right? But I needed some space. I was just like, I just need need some space. And he was just like, and I was like, you're not my man. He was like, I'm is your man. Oh, it was crazy. I miss those days though, because now that I'm older, like I said, I don't even have, I don't have, there's nobody chasing me. There's nobody even looking for me. There's not anybody even checking for me. And I used to have pretty decent, at least nice looking, thick, you know. I used to have some good stallions. I used to have some good stock, on the sidelines. But I don't have a sideline. I don't even have a main line. I'm like in the desert somewhere by myself. Um, and I think, and this is one of the thoughts that I had too, and that's why I want to talk about sexuality in church because I think maybe that's one of the problems. Maybe, like when I went to the legal thing, the judge actually said this in court, and I think he knew nobody was really paying attention, nobody was saying anything about it, but he was like, sexuality is a strong power source. And I was like, why is he telling me this? And maybe that's the problem because I'm not, even I had somebody at a job tell me, a young guy, mention the fact that, you know, you don't have any sexuality. You're not sex, and I'm just like, well, what does that matter? And why would you even talk about that, But I guess it does matter, because I guess you have to be attracted to each other, no matter what the situation is. I remember being in church and, all these places, people, it's like, it's one of those things that it sounds like maybe it's undercover. People don't talk about it mainstream, but it's like a hidden secret or something. But I don't know. I don't know. Like, I feel like it needs to be talked about. Like, what the heck is going on here? Um, and so, like I said, for the past month or so, I really haven't been listening to secular music. Today I did because I had such an issue with, okay, let me go back to why, like I said, I'm glad I came out late, but why I came out so late. Okay, about 3 o'clock or so, well, earlier today I was working on stuff that I was supposed to work on. I had a hard time last night. This is the addiction part, okay? Addiction isn't just, with medicine or food or drugs or whatever. It can be an emotional addiction because you get a high when you connect and when you attach. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a person that's a loner. And I'm realizing this about myself, so I know I need to be careful. Because if I run into a big bad wolf, and this was one of the questions that I had asked this guy, and maybe that's why I potentially got ghosted. So, and I wouldn't be offended if I get fully ghosted now, but the person mentioned to me, like I said, nobody talks to me, nobody cares, nobody brings me peaches and pears. That's a Shel Silverstein book from his poem from his Light in the Attic book, which is one of my favorite childhood books. But so, I've just been getting dissed left and right, with me trying to go for my cause. And that church was trying to act like they didn't understand nothing. I went to the city hall I went to the meeting, and everybody understood. There were people that were approaching me about it. So, they were trying to sideline me as something that I wasn't, but the devil is a liar. But now I just got to make sure that I show up and improve, or, just be honest with these people and tell them what I'm trying to do and what it is, you know? So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I came in contact with this couple that have a car shop, and that's actually something, they had a lot of things that would be helpful to me. And I guess I just need to talk to them and tell them what I'm doing. The website doesn't show, everything. I need to update it. Now it's raining. I wanted to use this time to walk and talk and get it all out. But now it's raining. I'm not going to be able to because I got to hide my phone from the rain. But anyhow, this is sad. I really wanted to talk, but I could use the coolness. But also what's scary too is that it's raining and it's dark. And like I said, that's when the predators come and try to offer you rides and stuff because it's raining. The visibility is low. Other people can't really see you. You're distracted by the rain. So you are more apt to be like, okay, I'll take a ride, you know. So I like the way the rain smells too when it's real hot like this. It smells so good. Mm-hmm. And you know what else I remember? A memory just came back of this is again after college and living in this little place after my mom was just like, what? Um, there was this guy that used to be friends with a girl that I was quote unquote friends with. And I forgot I don't know how he ended up at my place, but we were just chilling and we were in this place. There was no furniture or nothing. And it was raining and the windows were wide open and it was just so peaceful. We were talking. I think his family was Nigerian. And we were just talking, just and I miss that. I miss male energy. You know what I'm saying? Not like um, not it's just like college male energy. Like when you're in school and it's just you're there, you're in each other's space, but it's just male energy. It's nothing going on. There's no thoughts. It's just male energy. I miss that. You know, and again, I think this is part of me becoming this old lady. I'm missing those things. I'm reminiscing and remembering because when you're younger, you take that for granted because it's always there. Like you can't turn around without, some guy somewhere being there, like right there. Um, yeah. So this phone, just so everybody knows, this is the end of this phone. It's cracked to all get out. It's had many warnings about moisture. I don't know why, maybe just humidity. And now we're in the rain, so so this phone is completely gone. I might as well forget about it. What did I eat today? I don't think I really ate anything. I might have had like a quarter of a bite of a peach, but then, you know, I didn't finish that. So am I gonna eat when I get back? And if so, what am I gonna eat? Oh, pastry. But that's not real food. Yeah, but I miss Mel Company. I do. Like I miss Mel Company. Like tonight would be a good, but I want Mel Company that's appropriate Mel Company. Well, I say that, but you don't even know because I think with the type of men that I like the when I'm talking about the top tier type of men that I like, it goes to physical first. I'm sorry to say, I like them. Like I said, 6'5", at least 245 pounds, nice smile, and the type of dude that's like, you know, that he's thunder, like boom, and I like him to be stacked and packed, if you know what I mean, like really, really stacked and packed, beyond normal, stacked and packed. A good 10 would be nice. And then I like him to be important, intelligent, have like a little gleam in his eye, a nice smile. I want him to love his mama, be close to his family, um, a pretty good cook, you know, hey, a pretty good cook. All of that. That dude back then was that. A guy that's kind to others. I don't want him to be like, when we together, he's so insecure that he has to be mean to other women. I want him to be nice to other women. I want I want him to be cordial to everybody. A good guy. You know, and then low end, like I said, if I'm just scrambling for dudes, whatever, you know, any, they just have to take care of whatever need it is that I have, whether it be. Am I really saying these things? I really am. I'm listening to myself. And I'm like, what? What am I talking about? Like I said, my hormones are off. My hormones are off. So, you know, don't mind me. My hormones are all over the place. So, yeah, my hormones are bad. Oh, in other news, you know, which I guess I shouldn't put in the same recording, but if you're in Valdosta and you like to go to thrift stores, please take a chance and visit St. Francis Thrift Store on Mary Street near downtown Valdosta. Reason why I say that is because all their proceeds go to help people with utilities and things like that in times of crisis. So please do, check it out, check it out, check it out. Please do. Um, I'm always broke, so I don't have a chance to, but yeah, please do. Um, but back to my stories of thought lust and what I like and what I want. And so, so my top tier type of guy is the one that I just mentioned. Solid rock body, 6'5", 245, deepest, darkest chocolate. Like if you get the Hershey's special dark chocolate bar, you see how dark that chocolate is? That's the kind of chocolate that I like. Okay, that's the kind of chocolate that I like. And intelligent, right? No kids at this age. It's not gonna happen. So this is all fairy tale. So you don't have to worry. My chastity is intact. but no kids. You know. Um, and then when I look at my stats, so I wouldn't date me because I would want somebody with a college degree, with a job, that dressed nice, not somebody that's walking around in broken down flip flops and dirty looking feet. You know, So I'm glad that I'm starting to think about guys again that way because if I'm thinking about guys again that way, it's gonna make me look at myself that way. Would I date me? And the answer is no. Is no. No, I would not. Because your shoes are busted, your toes are dirty. But if I was a guy that was a charity guy, let me think about it. If I was a charitable type of dude, would I try to clean me up? No, no. Because there's a certain point that you have to come to the table with at least this much. So yeah, but how you doing? So anyhow, um, my nerves are so bad. So, but anyway, I've actually had my phone snatched like that before. Some guy rode past a boy. It was a boy, a teenage boy. That's why I don't like teenagers. But oh, I know what? I have a can of spaghetti. I can eat spaghetti and meatballs out of a can. Quick, easy. It's food, and I'm done. That's good. That's all I want. Quick, easy, and food. So yeah, But that's why I think that's why too I had such an attachment to, because I've been wanting a mentor forever, even since the legal case happened. So when I was like, ooh, I might have a mentor, this would be so great, because then it'll help to bring me back into the fold. But then that's what I thought about this church. But I really felt raped at that church. I didn't like it. And I feel, even like I said, I thought that one guy was in my corner. Even that, I don't think it's true anymore. Um, but I don't know. I have to wait and see. Um, I have to wait and see. But I already know. See, your spirit and your soul already know. I already know this dude is no longer in my corner like that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. He's not in my corner like that anymore. Um, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. So I can't wait to get back to the spaghetti and meatballs. But yeah, but I miss that. But then I miss all of that. So the big question is, I'm almost 50 now. The big question is, am I ever gonna have another excursion again? And is that ever gonna happen ever, ever again? And I don't think so, and that scares me a little bit. And if it does happen, I think that just like this false ass membership thing to this church, if it does happen again, I don't think it's gonna be for the right purpose. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like, because I know me, and I think when I'm in that mindset, and people, like I said, my energy is strong when it comes to that. Like, I remember this guy one time. He was just like, "Oh, she's just trying to get," he already knew, like, and it's nothing that I verbalized in my mind or put out on the table in my mind, but that's all that I wanted. you know, she's just trying to get a guy for his, you know, and he said it, he verbalized it, and it made me laugh because I never thought of it like that. But I was like, hey, that's kind of true because I really don't care what you were thinking about right now, And I remember even, if it looks good and all that, I remember even with the big dude, I remember him coming by, and it got to the point, like I said, where I would let him come by, but I would be like, hey, you know, the rules are I'll let you in, but you can't talk. You are not allowed to talk. There will be no talking. You cannot talk. And I remember even when I was younger than that, I was a heathen, huh? I remember even I was, I was like, if you say something, you got to go. You can be here, but you can't talk. No talking. So I was bad. I guess I was bad. And I remember a lot now. This is not good. It's like the feeling that I get as I'm remembering these things, though, the feeling that it was really raining. Look, y'all. I don't know if y'all can see it. You can't, but I'm walking through the projects now. Um, but the feeling that I get is that I'm thinking about these things. It's almost like I'm in a fog and I'm coming out. It's making me dizzy because it's like the truth is that, hey, I haven't thought about that stuff in so long. Like, and I remember like before then, I was like a quote unquote cuddle bunny. Like and I'm always been a natural person, but I remember I didn't care who you were. If you crossed the threshold to wherever I was staying, there were no clothes. They had to go. Because I liked skin to skin. I like being close. And it was nothing sexual. It was just I liked that. It's almost like being in a womb. It's just being close. And so if I ever get that back again, meaning any type of, and intimacy doesn't mean sex, but any type of closeness and that type of close connection with someone or people, because like I said, if I ever get that again, you know, how will it be? You know what I'm saying? Like, will I get that back again? I don't know. I don't know. With me having to be out here more, of course, I think I'm going to meet more people. But then I'm realizing how vulnerable I am too, because I'm such a loner. And so to myself that, if I do connect, that it'd be very easy if somebody really wanted to, which I guess I'm fortunate that, there's not that type of attraction in me where, because attraction doesn't just come from physical, it's a combination of physical appearance and what you got going on inside of you, right? But I guess fortunately for me, no one is attracted enough per se to one, to trick me. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta fool me into thinking that you like me at least a little bit. You have to fool me into thinking that you're in my corner. You know what I'm saying? You have to fool me a little bit. And me, the kind of person I am, going to, and being that I'm in need, I'm going to make a request for you to fulfill some kind of need, you know, that's not physical, and if that doesn't happen, then of course it's very obvious that you do not care about me, so we will not proceed, but just and it takes a long time for me, it's not like just bam, there it is, it I have to know that you're not crazy, that you're not going to harm me physically, mentally, socially, whatever, that basically, you got to be on the same page. So I don't know. Do I hope that it happens again? I think that sexuality can bring, a certain amount of youth back to you. You're missing some things that can rebuild those things that you're missing. I think so, but it has to be used responsibly. Like, you know, and like I said, at this age, the reality of it, you know, people are not really going to fit what I need, which would be single, unattached, no kids, no smoking, no drinking, no lying, all of that. And if those things do happen, you have to have a period of time where you can cut all of that off long enough to trick me. And you have to always be available and attentive, to whatever I need during that period of time where you're quote unquote courting to make that stuff happen. But like I said, I, I don't know. I don't know. And will I bend my rules a little bit? I think we all do if somebody's willing to trick you, because you can see that clearly they're trying to trick you, but you're like, okay, let's get it done. But yeah, so that's how I feel. That is how I feel. hmm Yep, I'm waiting on that can of spaghetti and meatballs. I can't wait to get to it. Yeah. So, talking again about sexuality and the pull that it has. So, um, yeah. So I'm gonna need to be careful because one, it's nothing worse than like I don't know what kind of energy I'm giving off, but it's nothing worse than if you're giving off this energy. And then also, like for me, I'm very open. So if I have a need, I say, hey, this is what I need, and it's nothing worse, I think, than, and like I said, I'm not trained in the ways of being a woman. I guess women are not supposed to do that, but um, I mean, it's a little bit difficult for me. I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do. I don't know how to manage this. I don't know how to, um, you know. I remember seeing an interview with Gene Simmons, I think, of Kiss, and this was many years back. And he was talking about, and he was middle aged too at the time. I thought that usually the younger guys are the ones that are like total cornballs, but I guess some of the men still have it in their old age. And what he said to me, and you know what's sad to me? I just realized that at my age, because I haven't been with anybody in so long, that I haven't been with anybody at this age. So I don't know how. Um, hi. So I don't know how men at this age operate. I don't know how sex is men at this age. And then also over the past decade or two, I'm sure sexuality has changed a whole lot, and there's a lot of things that I already know. There's things that I don't know that I would have to kind of be I would kind of have to be retaught, or taught, period. And who's going to have the patience for that if you have somebody that's half my age that already knows all of this and does that quite often? So I don't know. Like, you know, because I remember even the last time, okay, so I'm going to talk about the May 15th incident, 2020, no, not 2020, 2015. This was a person that was younger than me, and they kind of sort of um, introduced me. It kind of blew my mind because it kind of introduced me to, a lot of things that, I wasn't accustomed to. So, um, so I'm having issues. really having issues with. So it introduced me to some things that I wasn't accustomed to. And I found that I actually enjoyed, even in my inexperience, and this is a person that's younger than me, I was like, what? I can't believe I actually like that, but I did. And I wanted more of that, but I couldn't, even though you're not, it's not like that. It's like for me, and I think for any female, it's like you have to be up on, you have to have it together to a certain point, because who wants to if you don't have it together, It's like there's nothing worse than a female that don't have it together. For a dude that don't have it together and that's going on is a come up. For a female that doesn't have it together and that's going on, no bueno. So it's just I'm just so out of breath because, you know, even though and if I don't have any intention of getting married at all in any way, but even if I have an opportunity. I want that to happen at least once. Once I want to learn all the new things. I want to be able to try to participate in all the new things at least once before my time is gone. You know what I'm saying? Um, I want to. Let's just say I want to have sex again before before I'm too old. Um, I don't know. You know how old. Um, I don't know when that actually stops, but I want to, and I want it to be, you know, something good. I want it to be, we ain't gotta be in no big old relationship and nothing like that, but I want it to be, a kinship. Like I said, probably not gonna happen because you have to be single, you have to be unattached, you have to not have kids. Hello, I couldn't even see. You have to not have kids, and you have to be kind and you have to be caring and we have to be able to do everything. You know what I'm saying? And like when I say everything, like whatever I think of, if I think of something off the wall and that's what I want to do, then we should, as long as it's not hurting anybody or causing any physical harm or anything with any, undue fluids, and that's good. But it's just like, um, yeah. And then I want that person to be open enough, you know, like I said, I'm honest. It's stuff that I don't know, where they can, but I'm sure, I haven't had enough sex to know, but I'm sure that stuff comes naturally anyways. But it's like, I'm so frustrated. I don't know what to say. I don't know anything, but I don't know what to do. And what I thought about is how the day before yesterday or whatever day it was, I was about to throw the towel in. I was about to be like, and I really thought about it. If I had money, I'd just be like, hey, let's do this. Let's get it done, and then leave. Then I wouldn't have to worry about it. But the bad thing is that I'm still here, so I can't do that because chances are I would have to run into that person again. So, but if I ain't got to run into that person ever again, I know that person's pretty decent. But what brought me back to common sense though was I was checking at the different news things, and what I found out was that Georgia is top for AIDS. So bless my kitty kitty meow meow. We haven't had any interaction, so whatever. But yeah. So I should be thankful, but a small part of me feels like I'm missing out on some things because there's some things that I want to experience that even like I said a decade ago, like this is before even the last excursion. Last excursion, I learned a couple of things, but I didn't learn them. They were, you know, they were the performer. But even prior to that, there were things I was like, you want me to do what? I'm not doing that. But it's like, I think that if I got comfortable with those things, that I would, because I didn't understand. There's certain things I don't understand about that, and that I can't talk about in church because it shouldn't even get that far. But um, you know, just like with that boyfriend that I had, the last real boyfriend, I basically got with him because I wanted to experience these things. But I think that's acceptable when you're younger. But now at this point, there's more expectations out of a relationship. I can't get a boyfriend just to say that I have a boyfriend so that I can do all these things that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, you shouldn't be having a boyfriend. You're looking at a partner or a fiance or whatever. Or not even looking at, you should have that by now. You know what I'm saying? You should be married. But there's a lot of people that are married that aren't even together anymore. I've talked to at least 2 women that are married, have been married for 30 years, and they have a husband on paper, but you know, so I don't get it. I don't understand this whole thing, and I don't know why everybody. And I feel like such a traitor to myself because that's what I want to say is I don't know why everybody gets married and all this other stuff. That's not what they want to do. But just like I joined that freaking church, and I think I'm gonna have to unjoin, unjoin the church. I don't know, but I need to at least tell the truth because it's my responsibility to tell the truth about what happened. Because I felt like I was raped. I felt like because if I'm willing to go to a Bible study on Wednesday night for a Bible study and then these people don't like you or care about you anyway because they know enough about you and seen enough about you to assume that you're indigent and talk about you, but they actually are on the resource list and not to mention any of the resources. Where do they do that at? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just like, and then the guy that put his hands on me to baptize me is the one that's like the biggest sinner of all. Like, how hypocritical can you get? And then the girl behind me is shushing me because the guy, when I was just like, no, this guy doesn't even talk to me, she was shushing me because the lady that I was talking about was in front of us. And, I guess they're loud people. But, because she was probably thinking the same, that, hey, she could probably use resources. You know what I'm saying? And so then this guy that I thought was, what I'm saying, that, was rooting for me, perhaps now all of a sudden, yeah, that's pretty sad. So the thing that I'm thinking was a blessing, maybe it wasn't. I told y'all that something happened on this past Thursday, and I was hoping there was a sign that God came through, but maybe it was just a sign for me to see the truth alone, because you can tell when somebody's really not. That's not where they're going. You know what I'm saying? It's like I think it's almost like when somebody, and I think this is how, and this is a male mentor, by the way. I think this is how females just won't deal with you at all unless they're willing to go all in. Men, I think what they do is it's like you for a man, and I said this about my ex too. It's like you have a whole bunch of ice cream, like a whole bunch of pints or quarts of Haagen-Dazs on the wall, right? And you go to the ice cream store, and if you haven't wealthy enough, and wealth isn't necessarily money, but wealth can be, knowledge, authority, power, whatever. You have enough wealth to purchase some ice cream with either your knowledge, your wealth, whatever you have that makes you wealthy. You go in, you say, let me try this flavor of ice cream. And when you try it, the first part of trying that ice cream is looking at the packaging, right? Do you like the way that it's packaged? Does it look like it's neat, it's clean, that it's sanitary to eat? Does the packaging look good? Or look edible, or at least okay? Is it something you're willing to sample? So you take the ice cream off the shelf, the packaging looks okay, so you open it, you smell it. Okay, it smells okay. This is a little different, but it smells okay, you know? And so then you allow the packaging, depending on how interested you are and how much you like the ice cream, you're gonna take the top of it off of it. This is weird, I know, but you're gonna take the top of it off of it, and you'll let the ice cream sit there, and let it do whatever it does. You'll take in the way that it looks, the texture of it, the way that it smells, all this and all that, right? And then, but if it's ice cream, and basically you're letting the ice cream show you what it has, right? But if it's ice cream that you truly like, you're gonna take it off the shelf. Not only are you gonna take it off the shelf, you're gonna rip off the seal, and you're gonna eat it all. You're gonna eat it all. You're gonna try to eat the whole thing in one sitting, and you might stop being greedy and eat half of it, and then eat the rest later, right? So I think like if I was one of those ice creams, it's an ice cream that I just mentioned the first time, the way that you take it off the wall, you look at it and you're like, okay, it's okay. You open it and then you let the sense of whatever it is hit you, and you just sit, you just take it in, and you decide, and then you might find other ice cream that you like better. So that's what it is. But so do I think sexuality is a part of everything? I think so. I think that maybe that is the truth, And like I said, I don't talk about it in church, and I like to talk about it because if there are some people that are driven by that, and I wonder, like I said, I haven't had any type. Well, when I first came here, like I said, somebody decided to dine. I didn't ask them to, didn't want them to. I was tired. I was halfway asleep, but I just let it go. I'm like, whatever. And this is how I say, I'm completely on a friendship vibe with it, you know. And the reason why is because they spent time with me and did all these things that I found to be helpful. Again, that's my trap. But nobody's willing to do, do those things for me. But and so I was tired, and even though I didn't want them to do that, you know, it was just like from friendship. If they really have a taste, go for it. But I did that too tired, and then I was really pissed off about it afterwards because that person didn't end up always being around. And then it was just like I was pissed because I hadn't been around a male in a long time. I wanted that to be an enjoyable experience, not me halfway knocked out, whatever. But and I don't want to get into using the proper verbiage for that because I don't want to be triggered. But yeah, so I'm so hot. Lucky. I'm glad it stopped raining. But yeah, so I have something to think about. Sexuality is something I definitely need to think about. And not only just sexuality in itself, but, along the lines of, you know, because sexuality, like I said, it's not always the copulation, it's not the intercourse or whatever. Like for me, I'm mentally, mind sex is a big thing for me. Like, I mean, just the interaction with someone, that you like or appreciate can be a very exciting thing. And I have to be very careful and be not even when I say careful, just be cognizant that hey, I'm interacting with this person, and may unconsciously, I am point where it's not flowing as free, and you realize, hey, you know, you actually kind of like this, and now you want that, you know, and then what happens if it's not given to you as freely? And for me, like I said, I don't have those relationships with people long enough. I haven't had built any relationship with anybody long enough. There's one person, and I said, like, this is a female. I don't want to put so much. I know she's real, and I think the dude that I consider to be her counterpart is real too. But for her, I haven't tested him because there's no need to. But for her, I know that she's down 100%. But the thing is, I don't want to drain her because I'm a female, and I understand. That's energy. That's a lot of energy, and she gives it, and she's 100%. So I can't wait to get my money because when I get my money, of course, bills. But I definitely got to treat her. I got to find out some things that she likes or whatever, or do something for her. Oh, I can't bend over. My legs are so tense. I can't even bend over. Oh my God. But I don't know why my legs are so tense. Maybe it's because I was walking fast. Oh, I can't bend over. This is crazy, y'all. I'm trying to bend over to pick up trash that somebody threw in my yard, and I'm having a hard time bending over to pick it up. Okay, good. I got it. So yeah. So yeah, there's probably more than that. There's one, two, and these are people I feel like I owe because they invested some love into me. And love means that they saw a need that I had. They saw something that could be satisfied with me, and they gave it to me without me even asking or knowing. They were there for me. And I want to give back, and I want to give it back to them a hundred times because it's almost the equivalent. Again, everything when you look at it, it's not directly sexual, but when you look at it, that's what it is. Somebody gave you something that allowed you release, right? right? And so you want to get it back, right? Because it's, you know how frustrating it is not to have a release when you need a release, you know? And it's only fair if someone gave you a release that, you know, they're able to have a release back. And even if it's not, um, it may not be in a way that, um, and I'm mad. And see, this is part of my jealousy too with me, is that it's kind of low key jealousy. Like when you see, like, you know, somebody's single, right? It says another female that's single, and there's a random car in front of their house late at night. You know, you know that she is getting something good, you know, regardless of the extent of it. She's getting something that she needs to, you know, to help things out a little bit, you know. So I don't know, but we'll see where it goes, because I know right now at this point in my life, like I said, the hormones and stuff, it's nature, it's not me. I'm not intentionally being, you know, whatever. And, you know, I know how to turn it, you know, it's just, it's prevalent kind of by myself. I know, you know, because I know about the responsibility of it. Okay, sexuality, it exists. Let's take the letter by letter that I create. Sexuality exists. The truth, I talk about it. Aging, I think, is a big part of it. Responsibility, that part I got down pat. I know that I'm responsible for making sure that, you know, I'm responsible about it. You know, I'm not making people. I have a trouble bending over. The back of my thighs are like really tight. Um, I understand the responsibility of it. Okay, so I know that, um, you know, I make sure that I'm not making other people feel uncomfortable. I'm trying not to let them feel if there's a sexual vibe, or, you know, if I'm feeling, you know, I don't typically, because I'm around people, I'm more, um, this isn't so bad. Around people, I'm more, I'm reserved. So, you know, that's not a thing. And if I ever feel like, um, if I ever feel, dang, all my tape. If I ever feel like, you know, my hormones are acting, I told you all some videos ago about how, you know, people were saying things and they weren't intended to be innuendos or weird, but then somebody else would catch it and they would just come right out with it. And then all of a sudden, you know, I'm like, oh my God, right? So, oh, yeah, Jesus Christ. Um, I'm so thirsty. But yeah, so around people, I'm responsible. You know, I don't like, you know, have these open thoughts, or I'm openly flirtatious. At least I don't think I am. Whatever. I don't know how to flirt. But you still, you know, sometimes your libido is just crazy. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to do about that. I started talking about Gene Simmons and how he was on this interview, and he was saying like how he wished that you could just walk up to people and just be like, "Hey, do you wanna?" And I remember thinking how funny that was. But in my older age, it's like, you know, I mean, be safe, you'll be fine. But Willie, you don't have to worry about me being safe, because ain't nothing happening, brother. Ain't nothing happening, okay? It's nothing happening. You know how the song, that ain't even happening. You know how the song say, ain't nothing going on but the rent? That ain't even happening. Nothing's happening. So there's nothing to be safe about, you know? I mean, I wish that, you know, I didn't understand that. When I saw that, I thought it was funny, you know, and I just thought it was a man thing. Like men are just, you know, those types of people. And, you know, and I was like, it must be awful to be a guy, because if your hormones are crazy like that all the time, and then you're liable to get locked up because, you know, you don't know what to do. You're just like, what the heck? You know, and I think about all the news stories that I've seen about these various men at various levels just doing weird stuff, like somebody in a Walmart sucking somebody's toes, you know, or somebody breaking into somebody's house to, you know, whatever. It's just, you know, and it's so weird to me, because as a female, and I'm going to say it, you know, if they did these things, you know, that's not appropriate to do, right? But it's sexuality is such a weird thing because, when I think about those things, if you're into that stuff, then you would be like, I wouldn't have minded if they did this. But then it's always, and then the dudes that they post, some of these dudes are actually attractive. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of sad. But I think, anybody would be horrified if somebody just unexpectedly did something crazy like that, But, I wish that, we could have, and I'm like I said, I'm going to talk about it. But I wish it was a safe place where you could just be like, hey, I remember when I was younger and I would work in places where it was in public, right? And I remember, guys would come to me and be like, "What time?" and I didn't catch on when I was younger because I didn't know what was going on. Okay, but I remember a guy came up to me and he had this girl with him. I think she was a family member, and he was like, "Well, what are you doing when you get off work?" And I was like, "Minding my business." And she said, "Right answer," because I guess she got tired of hearing him flirt with people, And then I had guys that would come up and just be like, "Are you single?" And I'm like, why would you ask me? Working in this public place, am I single? But now as an older person, I understand why. It's because they're single, and they don't feel like playing the game. They just want to ask the question, figure it out, and then they're done. You know what I'm saying? They're done with the game. You know what I'm saying? That are you single? Okay, fine. You know, but I know for me, like I can't even talk about like in real life. Like I don't have many conversations to begin with. All my conversations are work related. When I say work related, as y'all know, I'm not gainfully employed. I'm working different. I have the nonprofit that I'm still working on trying to get off the ground. And this time I think I'm doing it the right way. God made it so I had no choice, right? So I am working on that, but I'm not getting paid at the moment. So that's not gainfully employed. And then I technically am employed at this other place. But again, not gainfully because the money that I get paid there and the hours that I work there, you know, you know, if you know, you know. But it's nothing but God bless them. I love if anybody from that place is watching, I love y'all. Thank you for letting me be a part of your group because I needed y'all. I need your presence. I need to be loved by you guys when I'm working there, you know, in whatever capacity you can. I appreciate you letting me be there. That's all I gotta say. You know, I appreciate you. And I think you guys are more valuable to me than you know. I do that. Churches that I go to, even though I feel raped the last time, it's an opportunity. So I'm glad to be there because it's an opportunity for me to interact and get my people on. And it's my responsibility because I didn't like what happened last time. My responsibility to talk to them. Now with the church, if I say it out loud to everybody, if I have an opportunity, they might not even let me speak. And I don't like the way that I presented myself last time. I presented myself as real shy and close in because how else would you feel? They're telling you to come in here and take off all your clothes, and you did, and the person that they're telling you is going to minister all this is a guy that wouldn't even talk to you when you were told to go to him after. It's just so much wrong, but it's okay. And the reason I'm honest about it is due to resources. So it's a whole bunch of tangled, and once you come down as a member, it's really tangled before. But I have to keep my focus. My focus for that part of it is resources. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But Willie, thank you for your kind words. Be safe and be fine. Nothing to be safe about because ain't nothing going on. Nothing's going on. Nothing's going on. There's nothing going on. Like I said, nobody cares enough to lie to me or trick me enough to put me in that. So I don't have to worry about it. My celibacy is safe. And at this point, you know how, people, when you say that you're celibate, people ask if that's my choice or not. And previously I didn't really know. And yeah, thank you, and it's real. I'm glad we're able to have this conversation maturely because it's on my mind. I need to talk about it, and I need to get off of here because, I need to drink some water, you know. And I said I was going to eat, but now that I'm back, I'm not hungry now, which is weird, you know. And, perhaps, and I have a rose. I know you were talking about that. I have a rose around here somewhere, but I haven't used it in forever. I don't know what the cord is. I don't even know what the freaking thing is. It probably needs to be washed off. Quite honestly, I haven't used it like that. It's too much. But anyway, why am I talking about this? Because it's part of life. That's what I'm talking about. It's part of my middle age life. And that's not even, I'm not even, I think I'll turn it on. I've turned it on a couple times and you turn it on, and it's too much. It's entirely too much. Not too much because basically, you know, I don't even know how to talk about that. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave that alone. Anyways, I love everyone. Hope you guys have a good night. And like Billy said, be safe, be responsible, you'll be fine. Like I said, it's nothing for me to be safe about because there's nothing going on. But anyways, I love y'all. Good night. Nothing going on, and it's good that there's nothing going on because Georgia has the top HIV rates. You know, but I mean, dang, you know, enjoy the chat. Yeah, thank you. Love you. Goodbye.